Hello Ross, how are you doing?
How you doing, bro? Yeah, very good, very good. Training's going good. Ready to rock. Ready to get that next scalp up MVPs. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a massive name. I mean, for your debut, you can't really get much more. He's got like such a following behind him. It's going to be good for you to go in there and then like take some of that following.
Yeah, you know he's got like you say, he's got a big following. A lot of casuals follow him just because he's obviously got a lot of highlight reel knockouts. I think a lot of people watch him whether they want him to win, or a lot of people watch him because they want him to get knocked out and stopped. So I'll definitely pick up 50% of the fans after I beat him.
Yeah, and obviously it's going to be the first event in France, and that's massive as well. And to be part of that is such a massive thing for your career. And not only that, to go down in history, like you've seen all the posters with your face on it and stuff. That's going to be there forever now, and like, it's always going to be known as the first event in France. How does that make you feel? Like,
It's quite cool. I didn't actually realise when it first got announced. Obviously, I was buzzing. I got the MVP fight.
yeah,
But now hearing the history behind it, it's awesome, man. Because obviously I can't fight forever, so it's going to be a good. It's lifelong memories, isn't it, man? It's going to be a good thing to have on my CV.
yeah, definitely.
Just a good thing to look back on, saying I was I was like the main event in the first ever French show, especially with such a decent name, man. So it's I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm just buzzing, man, because I kind of like the past few years, just taking things step by step, and obviously I had a pretty inactive last 12 months, but things have just kind of like happened, and I'm enjoying it, man. Like I said, I don't feel any pressure. I'm just looking forward to getting in there and performing.
Yeah, and like you say, it's been a while since your last fight in Cage Warriors. How has it been for you, like training over like coronavirus and all this other stuff? Did you manage to train all right?
Yeah, I trained fine, to be honest. I worked a lot on conditioning. I worked with conditioning coach Ian Finley, and he's taken me to new levels in terms of my cardio, my strength, and my speed. Don't want to bore you too much of all that. And I've worked with Cam Cheng, my coach, as well, on a lot of technical areas. And I think having a year out's been good because moving to Bellator and like going straight in there with the top level welterweights in the division, I think it was a good break for me to develop my skills physically, skillfully, mentally, and I feel really good just now. And like I said before, man, just looking forward to getting in there.
Yeah, that's good. So obviously, what do you think of the matchup between you two? Do you think you match up well?
Yeah, I think I match up well. I've always said my mental aspect of my game is my strongest point. I think I've got the strongest head in MMA. Not in terms of like taking shots. Well, I'm up there with that as well because I can take a shot, but I just think like my mental strengths are untested, and there's no one who's got a stronger mental aspect of the game than me. So in that aspect, I think that's going to work well because obviously he's a bit of a showman, and he's a big name and all that, and I reckon he gets in a lot of people's heads, gets them flustered before they've even stepped in the cage, and when they're in the cage with his feints and all the showman stuff. He gets in people's heads, but that's not going to bother me in the slightest. I'll be going forward, putting pressure on him, and I'll break him. I'm not underestimating him. I'm just confident from the training. I'm confident in my skills. I know he's a good opponent, and I asked for this fight because I know I can beat him. I know I will beat him, and it's the scalp that I wanted to take me to the next level and prove that I'm not only the best welterweight in Europe, but I'm up there with the top welterweights on the planet as well. Use my ticket to the big league, the big names.
Yeah, definitely.
Rare names.
And saying like all this stuff that you're going to beat him, can you give us a prediction then? What you're saying, round 2, round 3, and what, round 1?
Yeah, I'll go round 2 rear naked choke.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see. So if you get past MVP, who's on your radar next? You're going to be looking straight at the champ, or?
Yeah, well, Douglas Lima's the main target because whoever's got the belt is the main target. I'm here not to make up numbers. I'm here to pick up the second world title. Obviously, I picked up the Cage Warriors world title. I've stayed undefeated, and I'm never here, like I said, to make up numbers. I'm wanting gold in whatever promotion I'm going for. So that's my aim. And whether I get that after the MVP fight, depending on the fashion and how the fight goes down, I don't think I will. I think I'll have to get another fight or two. But once I beat MVP, the biggest name possible which they're willing to give me, I guess. But yeah, I'm aiming for the Lima. I know he's getting up to middleweight just now to fight Masasi. That'll be a great fight.
Yeah.
I really rate Lima as well. Now I respect him. I respect him all, to be honest. You know, I know that it's a hard sport and it's a cutthroat industry. You know what I mean? But it's dog eat dog as well, man. And if there's another man in the way of my path to the top, and they're getting taken out, trust me.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility that you could get that fight with Douglas Lima being the only man to beat MVP as well. So, like you say, depending on the fashion of how you win, you could possibly get that fight sooner rather than later.
Exactly, man. It'd be a very nice fight. It'd be a very nice fight.
Yeah. And what do you think of the rest of the top 5?
Well, I was scheduled to fight Neiman Gracie in June. I think he's a really good grappler, obviously.
Yeah.
He just beat John Fitch at the weekend with a heel hook. So, yeah, I know I'd beat him. Obviously, with that fight didn't go down. He's up there. I can't really think of the others, to be honest. I'm not really too bothered. I've only obviously MVP. I knew him because he's kind of a household British name.
Yeah.
Well known, and I asked for that fight because of his name and because I know I can beat him. So I'm not really. I know like Lehman is an Amasov or something like that. So I'm not really too. Other than Lehman and MVP, I'm not really too clued up on everyone else. And obviously Neiman Gracie because I was scheduled to fight him, so we looked at him. But we'll take it all as it comes, man. And once we beat MVP, we'll see what's the next challenge.
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be 5,000 fans allowed at this event as well, which is going to be good for everyone. Yeah, how did that make you feel? Is it? Would you prefer it to be like just no crowd instead of 5,000, or just wait until everyone can get there? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I was kind of looking forward to having no crowd because it's obviously imagine it'll go back to normal pretty soon.
Yeah,
it'd be quite cool to just fight in a no crowd event, especially in such a big stadium. You know, it'd be weird because it kind of like it'd be pretty badass, I think, because it's kind of like there's no crowd, it's just me against him. Let's see who wants it more and see who gets their hand raised. So that would have been quite cool. But obviously the fans are there, so it's going to add to the experience. So it's got its pros and its cons, hasn't it? I'm not really bothered, to be honest. I could fight in front of 1 million people or one person. I was still going to beat him.
Yeah,
I didn't get fazed by the lights or the cameras or the crowd.
It'd definitely be better to have that experience under your belt, because I don't think it's very rare it's going to happen again. But it would be nice to, like you say, fight with that and hear when you punch someone and when you kick them and everything. Just adds a whole new experience to it, doesn't it?
Exactly. Hear every scraping the wincing when a pound in his head in. Yeah, man. It is what it is, isn't it? You kind of like you can only play the card you dealt. So we will take it as it comes, man. But whatever. Like I said, there's one person there, there's no people there, there's 5,000 people there. It's not going to change the results.
And obviously, with your training, you've recently, before you've trained with the Edwards brothers, and I believe you've trained with Till before as well. How is it for you, like training with people like that?
Yeah, real good. Obviously, they're at the top of the game. Till at middleweight and Leon at welterweight. So it's really good training. It's just good to test himself against them guys and pick up skills when I'm down there. To be honest, so I learn a lot of them guys and I get on with them both, respect them both. So yeah, it's good. Like, you know, it's kind of like, because I do 99% of my training up in Inverness. So I've got a small team up there, and then I travel down south, get my rounds in, and we're working with these top names, and we see what's working, what isn't working, what needs to be changed, and then I bring up what I've learned back up north, and then we work on it, and we just develop from there, and it's working so far. So it's not broken, don't fix it.
Definitely. And how do you find training up in Scotland? Is it a lot more secluded for you up there?
Yeah, it's chilled out, man. But it's not the size of the team; it's the bond and the strength. You know, so although we haven't got a massive amount of I was going to say training facilities, but we've got a pretty badass gym now. We recently had it done up, but obviously training partners. I've got a small group that I work with, and I just think because we have to push that bit more, and we're not used to having things on a plate for us in terms of like training partners and all that. I think when it for me, I know when I step in the cage, it helps with the mental aspect of my game. And I know I've worked harder than these guys, and I want it more than these guys, because I've been used to grinding out. We've got a tight bond with my team, it's kind of hear about people training at big gyms and all that, and going over to American Top Team and all that, and then they get smashed because they don't really care about each other that much. Might not be true, but I can kind of imagine it being like that maybe. So yeah, man, I've got a good system going between me, Cam Cheng, and the other coaches, man. We've got a good thing going.
Yeah, it's definitely what you need as well. If you've got a good team around you, it's like you said, you don't necessarily need numbers. You just need people telling you and teaching you the right things, keeping you in the right mindset and stuff like that. So I can't let you go without talking about. Oh, camera's gone off, isn't it? Yeah. So I was just about to say I can't let you go without talking about your last fight with Nicholas Dalby. I mean, it was a great fight, but it was one of the bloodiest fights that I think I've ever seen. I think anyone's ever seen. How was it for you being in that contest with like blood everywhere? Literally, you can't even stand up because there's blood everywhere.
Yeah, it was a strange one. Actually, you don't plan for the fight to ever go like that, but you don't really feel it too much when you're in there. It's just kind of chaos and a bit of it's just a mad fight, So yeah, it was quite a painful one as well because I broke my hand in the first round, and then I think he broke my hand in the second round, and he broke my nose in the second round. Sorry, that actually hurt. I usually don't feel much pain, but I remember just crunching my nose, and I was like, "Fucking hell, that's sore." My nose just started pissing blood, so it was like, yeah, it was definitely an experience. And I'm not looking to have one of them fights again. I'm looking to get a nice clean win over MVP, no damage, and then on to the next one because this past year I've worked a lot on my defensive skills as well. Because sometimes I get drawn into a fight too much, I want to scrap. And I think some people haven't got that. You know what I mean? Because I'm more of a fighter at heart than I am a martial artist. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've got skills in that, but sometimes I got to reel in the dog inside me, I guess.
Yeah, you got to stop biting down on that mouthpiece so much and just take a step back and like think about what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So especially against MVP, I need to be a bit smart. I can't just go forward like an idiot. So we've got a lot of tricks up our sleeve for him.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, and obviously in that fight against Dalby, you hit him first and like cut out. I think I got a cut there that was really bad. And then like you said, eventually you broke your nose. And watching it, it was just like you could see you was in pain. And normally you could put a poker face on and stuff, but then you could see that it was bothering you. And I was just going through my head, I couldn't imagine being in that situation with like not even be able to get up with a broken nose, and then he's smashing you in the face as well.
Yeah, it was tough for the breathing, because there's a lot of blood going into my mouth because I was on bottom for a wee bit.
Yeah.
So that was quite tough, and obviously it was slippy. And my hand was a big issue because you can see that I got like a scar on my hand there.
Yeah, I see.
Broke.
Yeah.
So it was hard to grapple and all that because I kind of my hand was broke, so I didn't have like grappling. And that's the only reason the second round when I got my nose broke, it's because I went in for an elbow, a step-in elbow, which is a short-range shot. Whereas usually I would have thrown across, which is longer. But because my hand was broke, I went for the elbow instead. And he obviously hit me first. Well, we hit each other at the same time. He actually said he broke his nose as well. I didn't realise because if you watch the video, I hit him with the step-in elbow as he hits me with the cross. But I think I came off a bit worse. I just wish it was kind of like millimeters, isn't it? If I'd landed a bit, if I'd been like an inch or two further forward, it would have put him away, I think.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely a fight that I like to watch. I've watched it a few times. I even watched it earlier. I watched it back again earlier. Definitely an enjoyable fight. But I was just going to say, what sort of fight? What are you sort of like with fights? Do you enjoy watching fights, or do you sort of stay away from watching other fights?
I definitely used to watch fights more before I got so involved in MMA.
Yeah.
Because my whole life's like training and coaching and whatnot. My whole life's obviously MMA 99% of the time. When I have got time off, unless there's a fight I really want to watch, or it's one of my team, then I don't really pay too much attention to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because it's good to give the mind a bit of a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
There's violence all the time, and it's kind of like obviously I know I don't need to. I know I can switch on when I need to, man. So it's important to be able to switch off as well.
Yeah, definitely. So was there like any sort of fighters that you used to look up to when you was growing up, or thinking that I want to be like them or something like that?
Yeah, like I remember who was it? I like watching Nick Diaz as I was coming up the ranks. He was obviously cool.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo, he's badass as well. Trying to think, watching Liddell's against Ortiz when I was first getting into it as well, man. So yeah, I think them three, to be honest. And it's just like, the game's evolved so much since then. It's scary, you know what I mean? So there's this next, I've got guys coming up the ranks who, are like 19 years old, and they're already quite good spars for me, man. So it's it's the level of MMA is gonna like skyrocket over the next few years, and it already has done, man. But that's the way it should do, you know what I mean? It should just keep climbing like that. So yeah, man, it's I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that's all the questions I got for you, mate. So I'll let you go. I know you're a busy man.
All good, bro.
So
Me, man.
no worries. I wish you all the best of luck on when you get in the cage with him, and hopefully you're coming in with that win.
I'll get it done, man. Trust me. Let's go. Sorted. Right, yeah.
Nice
Catch
one,
you
bro.
soon.
In a bit.
See you in a bit.